400 pounds of massive strength coming straight at you can be a pretty scary experience, but there's really no cause for alarm.
Hi, I'm Dan Lewis. Although gorillas may look intimidating, they're really quite gentle, peaceful creatures, and in many ways, a lot like humans.
Gorillas are social animals and usually live in family groups called troops. The babies play and get into mischief together. Infants remain very close to their mothers until another baby is born, usually about every 4 years. When the baby gets strong enough, it often rides on its mother's back. The troop leader is an adult male called a silverback. Adult males are called silverbacks because the hair on their back turns to silvery gray when they mature at about the age of 11. Silverbacks protect the females and infants in their troop. Gorilla troops vary in size from 5 to 35 members. When gorillas are angry, they rarely engage in physical fights. Instead, they may stare or glare, and if that doesn't work, they may stand up to make themselves look bigger or beat their chests in a threatening manner. This behavior is usually enough to persuade a challenger to back away. The gorillas here at Woodland Park Zoo are western lowland gorillas, one of 3 subspecies. All gorilla species live in the rainforests of Africa. Mountain gorillas live at higher elevations, and they are larger than their lowland cousins, and their hair is longer and darker. Most of a gorilla's day is spent eating and sleeping. Their hands have 4 fingers and a thumb, which makes it easy for them to grab plants and peel off the part they don't like. Gorillas enjoy eating the leaves, stems, and shoots of many different forest plants. Even though gorillas are like us in many ways, there is still much to learn about them. The existence of the gentle gorilla has been threatened by illegal hunting, human warfare, and habitat destruction until populations have become so small that the gorilla is now listed as an endangered species. In Africa, anti-poaching patrols have been set up to protect the gorillas from poachers.
Today, many tourists travel to Africa to see gorillas in their natural habitat. This generates enough foreign income to make gorillas an important economic asset.
This economic importance, combined with education, conservation, protection, and research, are helping to save the last of a noble species that is balancing on the edge of survival. Woodland Park Zoo is participating in the Species Survival Plan for lowland gorillas. For information on species survival plans and on conservation organizations working to save the habitats of endangered species, please inquire at the Education Center. The lion has earned the title King of Beasts by being a powerful and intelligent hunter.
But did you know that lions are also good scavengers? Hi, I'm Dan Lewis. Because lions are large and strong and travel in the protection of groups, they don't have to be concerned about other predators, except for humans, of course.
Lions live in groups called prides. Females usually outnumber males by 2 to 1, and some prides can have as many as 20 animals. Females are usually closely related: mothers, daughters, sisters, and aunts. Because of their close relationship, they often share in nursing duties. Almost all of the hunting in a pride is done by female lions. Males seldom participate in hunts, probably because their mane makes them too conspicuous and they are more easily seen by prey animals. Male lions can weigh more than 420 pounds. The chief role of males in the pride is to defend the territory and the females from intruding males. The male's bushy mane makes him look larger without the drawback of increased weight. Conflicts between rival males are often settled without fighting because the smaller male backs down from his larger competitor. Even in the wild, lions often sleep between 18 and 20 hours a day because they hunt in groups, kill large animals and eat a lot of meat at one time, they don't have to spend a lot of time hunting. So they're not really lazy, they're just very efficient. When game is plentiful, they can afford to spend a lot of time sleeping. And besides, it takes a lot of rest time to digest all the meat they consume. So if you aren't seeing much activity at the lion exhibit here at Woodland Park Zoo, you'll know that these lions are doing what comes naturally. In many parts of the African savanna, lions and humans are in direct competition for resources. Changes in habitat resulting from human settlement have led to a sharp reduction in the herds of game on which lions depend for food. Today, wild lion populations are found only in wildlife reserves or very remote areas.
To save lions, a whole food chain has to be saved. And to save a whole food chain, an entire habitat must be preserved.
Today, many tourists travel to Africa to see lions and other savanna wildlife. This generates enough money to make wildlife reserves an important economic asset. We encourage you to support wildlife reserves and other conservation efforts that consider the importance of habitat and ecological relationships between lions, other savanna species, and people. While lions are not as threatened as many other African species, their future is definitely uncertain. It's a fascinating place where real-life dramas are lived out every day.
Hi, I'm Dan Lewis. 40 million years ago, a chain of volcanoes blew their tops and spewed lava all over East Africa. A thin layer of soil eventually covered the lava, too shallow for a forest, but perfect for grass and widely scattered trees. The resulting savanna, known as the Serengeti Plains, became home to millions of animals, all drawn to its grass and rain.
Seasonal rains bring new life to the grasses. The grasses feed wildebeests, zebras, and antelope, who in turn feed cheetahs and lions, who inadvertently help to feed scavengers like hyenas and vultures. All of these animals feed the grasses with their droppings and eventually with their own bodies after they die. This powerful cycle brings to the African savanna an abundance of wildlife living in a balance that fluctuates according to the natural rhythms of life. Approximately the size of Connecticut, the Serengeti has remained almost untouched by humans for all of our history, except for the last 250 years. Our initial impact was small. The nomadic patterns of Maasai herders, followed by the animals' natural migrations and diseases, kept cattle and human numbers low. Today, however, tremendous human population growth has put severe pressure on savanna ecosystems. In some areas, meat and trophy hunting has also taken its toll. The combination of overpopulation, habitat destruction, and poaching has pushed some species to the brink of extinction. During the 1980s, nearly 1 out of every 2 elephants was killed for its ivory. In the past 20 years, 95% of all black rhinos have been slaughtered for their horns.
What will save the savanna wildlife from the onslaught of humans? Perhaps humans themselves. Now that tourism has made wildlife conservation an economic asset, there are financial reasons to protect the wild animals and the habitats they rely on. But at least 2 difficult problems remain.
The first is over-tourism, the disturbance caused by too many people overwhelming the relatively few wildlife reserves. But even more alarming are human population numbers, which will double in 15 years unless drastic changes take place. The Serengeti savanna and its wildlife have survived for nearly 40 million years with little human influence. Can these animals survive human intrusion? It won't be easy, but it is possible. It will take the combined efforts of many experts and the support of people like you and me. Please consider joining wildlife conservation organizations and supporting efforts to protect natural habitats in East Africa, across the globe, and right here at home. Together, we can make the world a better place for its people and for its wildlife. For information on species survival plans and on conservation organizations working to save the habitats of endangered species, please inquire at the Education Center, located near the South Entry.